Hey everyone, I just want to start by saying if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and that's just because a lot of brands out there won't send anything to me, they're not interested. And if you haven't seen my X75 review from AceBeam, just skip to the drone footage, and it would be so great to be able to review these other brands and their high output models to be able to do the same thing again, because using the drone just beats everybody else's reviews out there. It was just absolutely awesome to see so much power from just an aerial view. So today we're having a look at the Convoy H3. So I reviewed the H2, and the only real difference between these two is the style of the knurling on the body, and this takes a 121-700 battery, whereas the H2 took an 18650. So I got this in the Nichia 519A in 4500K, and there's various other tints to choose from, along with a couple other LEDs. Convoy rate this at 1400 lumens, and that is for the cooler white version. The range on this is not stated, but I have measured everything. When we get out to the footage, I'll put everything up on screen. So this has got orange peel reflector in this with a silver stainless steel ring around it, which adds a really nice look to it, as well as also around the switch. And you've got the battery status indicator in there. You've got a nice amount of fins on the head, as well as what you saw on like the H2 as well. And nothing on the head there. So you've got a good amount of knurling on this. It does provide good grip, but you've also got a nice matte finish on this for the anodizing, and you can see that on all of the Convoy lights. There's a nice matte finish, and that with the knurling, it provides good grip all around. You've got, and the other difference between this and the H2 is the updated clip on this. A nice dual-sided clip. But I have found that with it installed, it does push a bit on the tail cap, so it does make it a bit harder to get it back on. But you've got no lanyard points in the tail cap, and also sometimes you have a hole in the clippers as well to be able to put the lanyard, but there's just nothing on this, and also no magnet. But for this clip, it's stuck on the tail area here. Like there's only a groove for it on the tail end. There's no groove for it on the up by the head here, and you cannot switch around the body tube. Nice style and design on this. One thing I've found is that the anodizing in the tail cap was not applied properly, and so you just can't really lock this thing out by unscrewing the tail cap, but maybe that's just in my unit. I'll just go through the negatives. Like the beam profile on this is pretty bad. Like there's just rings throughout the beam, so I highly recommend to install a TIR optic in this to be able to smooth out those rings. And we have a look at this headband here, it's awful. Like it was made for the H1 with a smaller diameter for that 18650 battery, and just the larger diameter on this, you just can't rotate it. It's just far too stiff, and you end up unscrewing the head, and also I just find this super uncomfortable. So like you have the headband here slotted through this part here, and it just pulls this ridge onto your head. I just found it real uncomfortable. Convoy could do so much better, and especially with the help of the community, to have something like the Skill Hunt HB3 I often talk about. The one major thing on this is the thermal regulation. So like you've got nice stabilization on your levels, really good to see. Thermal regulation kicks in at 50 degrees Celsius, and it only drops it down as far as high, and that's on all of Convoy's models. Is you know, all the ones that I've tested anyway have got that. And so on all the smaller models or the real high output models, you get you run into really high temperatures. So this maxed out at 67 degrees Celsius on the head and 59 degrees Celsius on the body. So if it does heat up, you're going to have to drop that down onto the medium level, or maybe it's cold enough where you are to be able to have it on those higher levels. But it's something you can't really give away as a gift without first telling that person about that. So just one last thing is the UI, and that is holding from off gets to the moonlight. That's great, but you can't increase the brightness from there. You have to first turn it off and then turn it back on and see if it's on a higher level. You're going to be hit with that brighter light, and that's just not what you want. But yeah, and one other thing with the UI is that it's 10 clicks from off gets you to lock out, and that's far too many clicks. So yeah, just a few things that could be improved. I'm not going to go over the UI, but it is like click for on, click for off. Then you've got smooth and stepped ramping, strobe, battery check, and like a tactical momentary where you hold the switch and it comes on to turbo. But I'll have like the double click for turbo, but I'll have my manual in the description and that I send out to customers. Thanks for watching.